Treat the phone interview like you would an actual face-to-face interview. Do not take it casually. Typically, companies use phone interviews for screening purposes, and it normally is conducted by a recruiter, not the hiring manager. It is indeed rare for a hiring manager to conduct the phone interview. Success in phone interview leads to an on-site interview, where you get to interview face-to-face with the hiring manager, among others. It is highly unlikely that any company these days will hire a candidate simply based on a phone interview. The duration of a phone interview is usually short, not exceeding 30 to 45 minutes. Recruiters use phone interviews to select the best candidates, who can then be called for the final interviews with the hiring managers and other company executives. So, if you want to move ahead in the selection process for a job, you need to be well prepared and handle the phone interview with tact and care. There are times when good candidates, one whose profile and background fit the job description, miss out on making the final cut because they handled the phone interview poorly. So, take phone interviews seriously and prepare for it just as you would prepare for a regular interview. While taking a phone interview, find yourself a good place, preferably a private room or a phone booth, which is quiet and where you can handle a phone call without any disturbance or interruptions. Also make sure that you have very good phone connection, or else everything can go awry. Make sure that you tell others not to disturb you under any circumstances while you are on call for a phone interview. Be prepared for the phone call and settle down in comfort a few minutes before the scheduled time. This will give you the time to settle your nerves and be ready to speak clearly when the phone call begins. In case you need to call the interviewer, which is not uncommon these days, make sure you call on time. And in case you need to receive the call, make sure you pick up the phone without delay as soon as it rings. Right at the beginning of the call, greet the interviewer and exchange some pleasantries before the actual interview begins. Keep in mind that when you talk on the phone, it is very easy to talk over the person at the other end of the line, which is often construed as rude behavior, even if it is unintentional. Frequently, you will notice that the interviewer pauses in the middle of a sentence and then continues. Now, if you are an impatient listener, you will find that you have interrupted the interviewer's chain of thought by not allowing him or her to complete the sentence. So, when you interview on the phone, listen to the question, and once the interviewer completes the question, pause for a couple of moments before you start replying. That way, you give the interviewer time to say something that he or she might want to add as an afterthought. If you notice that you are talking over the person at the other end of the line, make it a point to apologize and ask them to continue. When you do so, you will come across as a good candidate. Before you start your reply, make sure you understand the question clearly. If not, ask the interviewer to repeat the question, and it is perfectly all right to do so. Respond only after you are clear about what you need to answer. When you respond, talk slowly and clearly, and make sure that you are audible to the person on the other end of the line. You don't have to be loud, but you need to be clear and crisp in your speech. You can keep some notes with you which you can refer to while you speak. However, make sure that you don't keep stacks of paper and shuffle through them as you speak, for it can be irritating for the other person to hear. Towards the end of the interviewer will give you the opportunity to ask questions, and you can utilize this opportunity to clarify any concerns you might have about the position you are applying for and also about the company. Try not to raise the topic of salary and compensation during the phone interview, unless you are specifically asked about it. Once the interview is over, thank the interviewer for giving you the opportunity to speak with them, and say that you eagerly look forward to hearing back from them. After a gap of few hours and on the same day, send a thank you email to the interviewer.